It's Sunday night. The weekend's almost over. And here we are with an impromptu stream. Let's talk Halloween kills, Halloween ends, Star Wars. Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk Star Wars tonight, so it's not the main topic, but we're going to get to it, so deal with it. But we're also going to take a look at Haddonfield to Vanish, some screenshots, and decided to be generous and share a blooper. Here goes nothing. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Sunday night, just after 9 o'clock Eastern here on, I guess if it's 9 o'clock Eastern, we are in fact on the East Coast. They go hand in hand with one another. Broadcasting you from just outside Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is Fandom Empire Live, and I'm solo tonight. It has been a long time since I've done a solo show, so let's see if I still have it and can still maintain the audience's attention over the next hour as we talk Halloween kills. And I'm going to let you know right now what we're going to talk about Halloween kills. We usually don't do this. Is spoilery. Is it going to ruin the movie for you? No, it's not going to ruin the movie for you. And I'll explain what exactly we're going to talk about in terms of Halloween kills. It's about part of the script, and I would encourage you that, like, if you're someone that's, scared about spoilers, just stick around. It's not going to kill the movie for you. Nothing, overly dramatic happens with what I'm going to talk about, but I think you would like what we're going to talk about. Also, Halloween Ends rumor. Now had the same thing reported to me 3 or 4 different times, and if it's 3 or 4 different times from a couple of different people, I'm going to say where there's smoke, there's fire, and we'll dive into that tonight too. We're going to talk some Star Wars. Don't worry, all you horror fans out there and Halloween fans out there. It's not the focus of tonight's show. We're holding a lot of stuff till Tuesday, but you got to bring up Star Wars after the day that has happened. And actually, we have some news on the Kenobi show since Disney's Investor Day, if that's what you want to call it. And then last but certainly not least, and it won't be the last thing we get to tonight, we're going to show off a little bit of Haddonfield to Vanish tonight, which has been a long time coming. We have 4 images for you guys and a blooper clip. And I was very leery about releasing any footage yet. But I'm in a good mood because, I don't have a ring on my finger, but the lady upstairs is now very much taken, as if she wasn't before. We're engaged, and to everybody who tuned in last night or knew about it ahead of time, first off, thank you for not spoiling anything, because any one of you could have turned around and messaged Jade and be like, hey, the stream's a fake, he's setting you up, and you didn't do that. So that's appreciated. Big thanks to Jade's sister, who's really worked with me throughout this entire process to sort of make sure the engagement goes off properly. And then Tommy B stepped up last night by providing a link to the stream to Jade's family. My buddy Jesse was there. I'm not saying I got cold feet, but my nerves were getting up there too. And Kieran from the Tuesday show, the Star Wars show, Imperial Remnant broadcast, definitely helped sort of ease the growing nerves that I had going into that. If you were watching the stream last night, you probably noticed that unlike myself, who has the gift to gab and usually just says whatever the hell comes to his mind, I'm standing there in front of Jade, getting down on one knee, and basically forgot what the hell I was going to say after she made a monologue joke at me. But again, the outpouring of support from you guys, from family and friends, as a guy that never thought he would propose again, let alone get married, a long time has passed, 11 years since the last time I did that. Actually, 12 years since the last time I proposed to someone. Couldn't be happier. Had an amazing night. May have overdid it on the vape a little bit. Felt like I was on whitewater rafting, which was just crazy. How's everybody doing tonight? How you guys doing? Haven't done a solo show in a long time, so I'm going to rely heavily on the chat here. I've seen it go from 31 to 50 people, back down to 37, back down to 31. I see 16 likes. You're going to hear me saying this a lot more as we go on, trying to get the channel back on track here. We got a bunch of surprises when the new year crosses over here on the channel. If you haven't yet, take 2 seconds and click the like button. And if you don't like what you're getting, click the dislike button. Just don't do nothing, because that doesn't help at all. Click the like button. It helps the video be found on YouTube and helps the channel continue to grow. We're a small community, but we really want to get back to growing the channel, which requires some pre-produced content, not just live footage. So if you take a second, click that like button, it would be appreciated. I will try to answer as many questions as I can during this stream. So feel free to fill up the chat section, and I'll get to them when I can. But I want to remind everybody that you can send in a super chat, which supports the channel. About most of it goes to whether it's upgrading equipment or the lights, or when we were doing Haddonfield to Vanish. Obviously, some goes for personal use. But what allows us to come on here as much as we do is when the channel does make a little bit of money, whether it's from ad revenue and or from super chats, super stickers, you name it. I want to give a shout out to John Campia for a second. I know John Campia is a prickly topic. Some people like John Campia. Some people don't like John Campia. I totally get it. He's a bit of a polarizing figure who can be a little full of himself. But him and his wife recently did a stream where all the super chat money, and I mean, he's got, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, all the super chat money that came in to his stream, he donated to a family in need this Christmas. And I thought that was really cool. Sometimes I like Campia, sometimes I don't. But, not all of us are privileged or have good incomes or, have something to fall back on. So to do something like that, to help a family in need, was pretty incredible. So thumbs up to him for doing that. Again, if you want to be guaranteed to have your question answered, send in a super chat, and we'll definitely get to it at some point. I don't know if Frank Riker's here tonight, but I see Toronto Freddy in the house. How's it going, Toronto Freddy? And Intel Wild for Shawn finally growing the balls to ask Jade to marry him. Wow. Turns out when you're the only person on the show, you can lose your voice pretty quick if you don't shut up. I'd say it was, I don't know if it was a lack of balls. Look, my first foray into marriage was a disaster. It lasted about 3 months, 3 or 4 months. And basically, and I really did get bent over and was in no rush. Oh, sorry, Michael. Was in no rush to do that again. But Jade is not her, and we have something different. And it took me a while, but I'm glad that I did it properly, and she was surprised. You can see the video is actually up on our channel. If you fast forward to about the 9-minute mark, then it really starts to get into it. But a lot of moving pieces throughout the entire year to pull that off, and forever grateful for everybody that helped do it. Again, though, when you send in a super chat, it helps us continue to do these shows. If we're not making anything off the shows, we obviously will have to do less of them. That's just the way the world works. Regardless, though, whether you support us financially or support us just by spreading the word or support us just by taking your own valuable time coming here and listen to what we have to talk to, we appreciate it. All right, 11 minutes of rambling, done. Let's dive into this. Let's start with Halloween Kills. Okay. I know, shocking. I'm on here in a video, and we're actually going to start with Halloween. It's been a long time. So I want to read to you guys the first page. I want to read to you guys the first page of the Halloween Kills script. If you don't want any spoilers, tune out now. And you might be asking, well, why are you doing this now? And the reason I'm doing this now is I've literally seen today this first page be floating around out there on a bunch of Halloween groups and on Reddit. And I mean, I've had it forever. But if it's out there all over the internet, and I don't think there's anything groundbreaking that's going to make you go, oh, God, why did you read it? Well, it's already out there, so that's why I'm going to read it. So if you haven't read it yet, you're in for a little teaser of a treat. Because we're going to go on the Fandom Empire Underground Patreon video that we're going to do. We're going to read the first 3 pages or so. But here on the stream, we're going to read one page. Really, if you're really worried about spoilers, it's not going to spoil anything for you. So let's dive into the first page. Would not be doing this on a public stream if it wasn't for leaking in other areas. Okay, so it's what it is. Here we go. Let's have some fun with this. Haddonfield, Illinois, October 31st, 2018. The rumblings of a car engine are heard. Next, voices. Dr. Sartain. You killed him. He's dead. Officer Hawkins. Stand back. Dr. Sartain. No. Officer Hawkins. I'm still going to blow this motherfucker's brains out. Dr. Sartain. Leave my patient alone. Officer Hawkins. Get away from the body. Stand back. I'm not going to say it again. Step away from the suspect. Is he really a suspect? Like, come on. It's a given who he is. Step away. Blam. A gunshot is heard, along with screams of a girl. Allison. Help! The sounds of a car driving off as... ... The girl's scream gets fainter and fainter, getting further and further away from us until... Cut to exterior neighborhood night. Cameron Elam, dressed in a Bonnie costume of Bonnie and Clyde, walk aimlessly through the neighborhood. He takes his phone out and begins to call his friend Oscar. That, despite what you've heard from everywhere else, I can confirm that is how Halloween Kills starts. I know most people are like, wait, it doesn't start with the girls on the back of the truck? We've literally been telling you since like April that it does not start with the girls on the back of the truck. And now that someone has gone out there and leaked this shit to a bunch of other groups, and I've seen it getting ripped on by a few places. But again, it didn't spoil anything for you. The movie basically starts and you're still in Halloween 2018, the movie. But as we get into the actual Halloween Kills movie, yes, technically the first character you see is Cameron Elam, which to some people might be a little bit uneventful. But yeah. So apologies, I gotta answer this text. One moment. Anyway, that's how it starts. That's how Halloween Kills starts. And for a lot of people, Pete's got to go. Pete, you're barely here, Pete. How can you leave us this early? Punkum733 asks, so why is one more pages? So the first one that came out, which is 92 pages long, was missing some context and some extended scenes, and actually technically 2 full scenes altogether. Toronto Freddy's like, dude, that ruined the entire film for me. I'm blocking you and never talking to you again. Well, as a guy I intend to invite to my wedding, that's unfortunate. So, yeah, there we are. Halloween Kills. That's how it opens. Spooky Guy says it gets better, folks. And, I mean, I don't mind the end opening. I think, look, the most cliche thing they could have done is either, one, opened and you see Michael in the fire, or 2, open and it's the girls on the truck. But instead, they take you a different route. They start off basically 2/3 of the way through Halloween 2018. Cameron, you finally get some new footage of him because we last left him at the school. I know there's a deleted scene of him getting arrested. That's not the case here. But there's a reason that I did not get to that I will get to in the Patreon video that we start with Cameron. It really does tie the story together. It's good connectivity. And yeah. Matt Whitfield sends in a super chat. Congrats, kids. Beautiful proposal, Shawn. You have helped me consider proposing to my better half sooner rather than later. Jade, you got a good one. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much, Matt. That's greatly appreciated, man. You're a good dude. Your significant other would be very lucky to have you, man. Matt is a member of Fandom Empire. And as we cross over into 2021, we're going to be leaning more heavily on Matt, and you'll probably see more of him on the channel as well. So, yeah. Byron Weaver says, Shawn, will Halloween Kills be 2 hours? Not to my knowledge, Byron. My knowledge is the movie comes in at about an hour and 46 or an hour and 47 minutes. So, basically an hour 45 to play it safe. So, yeah. Alrighty. So what's everybody think? What do you think of the opening of Halloween Kills? Comment down in the comment section. We want to know what you think here today. Let's dive into some Halloween Ends stuff now. We do have a little more Halloween Kills stuff that I'll get to towards the end of the video, or the live stream, because this isn't a video. Tommy Quinn says, hey, Shawn, could you do a spoiler video, please, on Halloween Kills? I cannot do a full spoiler video on Halloween Kills yet because the movie's just too far away. It's not a matter of not knowing it or being full of shit either, because that's the first thought that a lot of people jump to. But for me, sorry, my phone's literally going off like a madman right now. And one of them's a guy from my work, too. So, anyway, for me, personally, I think you need to get closer to the movie before you go do a video. We will start doing some of that stuff on our Patreon earlier than in public, but yeah. Nick Gilchrist says, Shawn, do you think they're going to pick up right after Kills for Halloween Ends? If so, do you think Ends will take place in Haddonfield Memorial Hospital or in the Haddonfield streets again? Michael asks, I like that it's different than the obvious choice of starting with the fire or on the fire truck. Any word when shooting begins for Halloween Ends? Well, shooting has not begun yet for Halloween Ends. There are some rumors that they're targeting a spring shooting date of next year, but I question whether they're going to be able to do that or not. Obviously, the current way of the world, as we're in the middle of this pandemic, is a little bit, things are dicey. I mean, you can't do anything at the moment without pissing off one person or another, or breaking some sort of protocol. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't film Halloween Ends. In fact, I can tell you two things. The two things we have on Halloween Ends is, if you take this mask here that our buddy Mike the Mask Maker did, is apparently in Halloween Ends, from what I understand, this portion right here, this is a rumor, by the way. This is not confirmed, so don't go around and be like, yeah, that asshole on Fandom Empire, he said that. No, it's nothing like that. So apparently from about right here all the way down to about here, so like basically from the ear all the way down to about the mouth, apparently gets ripped off for Halloween Ends. It's a rumor, not confirmed, not from one of our normal sources, but it is from a guy that's gotten a few things right. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I like the idea. I mean, look, at the end of the day, one thing Star Wars and Halloween have in common is money, money, money with the merchandise. And to be honest, for the people like Mike and like other people that do these masks, to start to goof around and create, a half-ripped mask here, I think allows them to explore some creativity of their own. So we'll see if that happens. So that's one thing we have on Halloween Ends. Where are we here? Loving the hair, Shawn. My hair is a mess right now, to be honest. I got a cut yesterday, but it does feel good that my head can breathe again. Maybe I'm like being cosplay Kieran right now. So, where are we here? I'm looking at the chat, trying to catch up, guys. Scream 5 was able to film, so why can't Ends film? Well, a lot has changed since Scream 5 started filming, man. A lot has changed. There's restrictions in places that have gotten tougher. There's also moving pieces with Halloween Ends. The last I heard is Halloween Ends was actually going through some changes on the script that they originally had. So they've begun to tinker around. Hey, this happens. It's like, I forget who it was, but I had an argument with someone who basically said that no, the script's locked, the movie's locked for Halloween Kills, and they're not going to touch anything. The second they delayed the movie 15, 16 months, guys, opened the door for them to begin tinkering with everything with Halloween Kills. And if you don't think they're tinkering, then I got some swampland in Florida to sell you, because they are tinkering. You take that extra time. Does that mean you do things that are unnecessary? No. But you absolutely can go out there and fine-tune things and go back to the cutting room floor and see how you can make the movie. Pacing would be the big thing, is you want to go back and make sure the movie's properly paced. They may even go back and say, hey, something we deleted before, maybe it fits. Let's get it back in there. And then obviously there's the IMAX conversion that they're doing and the sound, which may not have the exact, effect, the exact desired effect that it should, but it changes. It is what it is. The other thing on Halloween Ends that I've heard everyone is quite simply this, is we've talked about the scale of Halloween Kills being really big, like the biggest scale of any Halloween movie we have ever seen. And it is. Halloween Kills has the biggest scale of any Halloween movie ever. Which, I think that's saying something. Especially for a Blumhouse movie. They really did put some money into this movie. Again, money doesn't necessarily represent scale, because you can put some money in a smaller scale movie too. But Halloween Kills is the biggest scale Blumhouse movie and the biggest scale Halloween movie that we've had yet. Pardon me, where are we in the chat? Yeah, Mike's saying there'll be some pretty big changes made to Kills. Yeah, no, I don't know why people were under the assumption they were never going to change anything. The biggest thing I've heard is there was a deleted sequence in it that they're considering re-putting back in. Who knows? Could be complete bullshit, but time will tell. Where was I here? Need to take a drink. Not used to being the only one rambling on here forever. By the way, Mike, I got your message. I'm just obviously on here doing this. Steve McCoy says, I'm fat, I need a big scale. Me too, brother. Me too. But Halloween Ends, dude. Dudes and dudettes. Halloween Ends, from what I understand, and this is literally over the last couple days I've got this, if you consider Halloween Kills is done on a major scale, a big scale, then Halloween Ends is set up to be on a much smaller, more intimate scale. So now some people might be like, well, how does that work? But if you're someone who's read all of Halloween Kills, then you don't, like, if you've read Halloween Kills, the actual Halloween Kills script, either one of them, then you understand how when you get into Halloween Ends, the movie probably has to be on a smaller scale. And I'm okay with that. I honestly am, especially if they're picking up the same night, because at that point you're in the middle of the night. I'm okay with a smaller scale ending, a more intimate movie if we're going to go with a big scale for kills. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Halloween Ends being a smaller scale than Halloween Kills is a good thing? Or do you think it's a bad thing? Should they keep a similar scale so it feels similar? Or are you okay with them ending this trilogy or quadrilogy, depending on how you want to look at it, with a smaller scale, more intimate movie, which would allow them to film through the pandemic as well? So, comment, let me know. Where are we here? Toronto Freddy says, any word on Indiegogo fuck yourself? Indiegogo can quite literally go fuck themselves. We'll leave it at that. We'll talk privately, dude. I'm not going to, if I begin to get into negativity, it's going to screw my mindset up. Alrighty. Where are we here? Michael says, when I write papers or do other writing, I come back to them after taking a break and sometimes find a lot of ways to strengthen it so I can see them making changes. Absolutely. If you have the time, you use it. You don't sit there playing with your thumbs and picking your nose and, playing around with your earwax. You're going to look at it. This is a major motion picture company. You're going to make sure that you do what's right. All right. Let's dive into some fun stuff. I think Kieran's still around here, so he'll love this. Let me ask the chat, who wants to take a look at Haddonfield to Vanish? No, Toronto Freddy, it's cool. Just the Indiegogo process, it has been a nightmare, and it's created problems professionally and personally, and I just think the way that they run things is bullshit. So, just my opinion, though. Doesn't make me right. All right, Byron Weaver asks, Shawn, will Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends take place at Smith's Grove? I can't answer ends. I don't see how that would be possible, and definitely not in Kills. I'll give you that. But yeah, who's ready to take a sneak peek at Haddonfield the Vanished here? I know I am. I've been waiting a while for this. Excuse me. So what we have for you here are Kieran sends in a super chat. If your voice needs a break, just play the H4 ending. Good call, man. Good call. Now, let's play what my opinion is on Kieran's thoughts on... my thoughts on Kieran's opinion on Boba Fett. No, I'm kidding. Love you, brother. Thanks for the support like that. Alrighty. Let's dive in to the 4 Haddonfield the Vanished images that we're going to show you guys tonight. And then the blooper. I was really, really torn about showing any footage because it's raw. But we're going to show it anyways because I love you guys. Do me a favor. When you see the clip, let me know if you can hear audio because I can't remember how this works on Streamlabs. I think you guys will be able to hear the audio, but I will not. We'll see. What I want to let you guys know, though, is... these images are unedited. There's no color correction done on it. There's been no editing that's taken place on it. Same with the clip. Because it's a blooper, obviously it's not something that's going to make the movie. There's been no editing done to it, so there's been no color correction. There's been no brightening it or darkening it or enhancing the audio. So Kieran wants to know if he can unsend a super chat. We'll have discussions about this Tuesday. It'll be a day long remembered. Alrighty. Let's dive into this. Image number 1. Here we are. Image number 1, and that is Carolina. Our good friend Carolina, who was really good on our long weekend away shooting. Let me just tell you, this lady has a pair of lungs on her. Carolina was wonderful to work with, and that's her walking through the many of halls in Haddonfield to Vanish. I know what you're saying. What a boring image to show. But we do have some good stuff to show you. Let's get to the second image. Hey, we know that guy. So right here, you have, that's our buddy Mike Bell, who is a production assistant on the movie. He's also our stuntman on the movie, and there he is with the clapboard. And we are looking at scene 37, A1, take 7. So you can tell this one wasn't going according to plan. Now, I was going to tell you what you don't see, but I'm not actually going to do that. And the man there in the police uniform, Haddonfield hat, the flashlight, and the gun, which is kind of hard to see, is Kieran. That's I hear Jade getting ready to kill the dog upstairs, too. Don't blame her. He's been a real asshole tonight. Kieran here is, he's, to give you some context on what's going on, is he's just arrived at this mansion where a call went out, and basically all hell has broken loose. And he's walking through this gigantic kitchen, and more hell's about to break loose. But this was a lot of fun to shoot this scene. Kieran busted his ass off during this. And I'll give you a tease. Kieran is in the blooper. So there's that. I will say that Kieran's flashlight, though, was giving us some focusing issues. So that's probably why we're on take 7 at that point. But good stuff. Now, I know everyone's like, well, let's get to some Michael Myers. We want to see the shape, man. Show us the shape. There's the shape. So here we are, Haddonfield the Vanished. Melissa Todd says it's dark, I can't see. Yes, it's this one specifically. I don't think we'll be using color correction on this because it's actually pretty bright. Just the way he's standing has his mask sort of covered in the shadows, and that's actually an effect we were going for. And I won't tell you who or how, but it's not like he's just doing his arm exercises, raising his hand, getting ready to stretch it out because he has a sore back. No, someone's about to get sliced and diced here by our friend, the friendly neighborhood shape. This is probably one of my favorite images that I've pulled so far, and I just thought it looked absolutely excellent. I dig it. What's everybody think? Everybody in the chat so far. We only have one more image and a blooper clip to get to. What do you guys think of Michael Myers here in this particular image? I haven't seen Frank Riker in the chat tonight, and I haven't seen... actually, no, Intel sent in that generous super chat to begin with. I don't know if he's still around or not, though. But unfriendly neighborhood shape. That's good. That's good, Toronto Freddy. We need to caption this. So that as he's doing this, and by the way, that's a real knife he's using too, not a prop knife. I'm thinking to myself, if he misses and knocks over that super expensive vase that does not belong to us, we're in some trouble here. So, all right, let's move on to the next one, which is also of the shape, and this one is brighter, but look, we told everyone that, well, we're inspired by the original Halloween and Halloween 4. It was still going to be a different Halloween movie, so you are going to see Michael in very well lit up areas at times. It's just the way it is. So let's get to the next image. And there we have it. And if I do say so myself, that looks to be Carolina, and it looks like she's run into the unfriendly neighborhood shape, as Toronto Freddy would say. That's probably the wrong hallway to turn down. And let me tell you, I think for those of you that tuned into our cast stream that we had, I think 3 weeks ago now, when this scene got shot, it was probably 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and Carolina is like screaming at the top of her lungs during this. And we literally had to go to her and be like, okay, clearly you can scream because you got a pair of lungs, but maybe we can tone it down a bit so we don't wake up the entire neighborhood. Let me tell you, if that woman ever needs to scream, people are going to hear her. Looks like Steve McCoy says, looks like he has a chokehold on her. I can confirm that is the case. Yes, he absolutely has her by the neck there, and she is trying to break loose. But yeah, there you have it. There's the shape in a more well-lit area. What's everybody think of what they're seeing here? Toronto Freddy says, that's a sick shot. Yeah, I know some people don't like how well lit up he is sometimes. And hey, that's all matter. It's all subjective. But we're going to have him hidden a lot. But, I mean, at this point, we're towards the end of our movie. So we felt like it was time to reveal him more. So, Kieran says, what, Matthew? I kill Michael in like 2 minutes into the film. That's awesome. Joel says, the shape looks good. More, please. Well, ladies and gents, I can tell you that I don't think I have any more that I can show you right now. Let me just have a peek here. No, yeah, that's going to be it for the images on this stream. Love the way the light hits his face. Not too much, though. Yeah, no, we, to be honest, we might have been a little too anal on the first night with how we were doing with the lighting. It probably made things a little more difficult than it needed to be, but I think people at the end of the day are really going to love it. Webbs, how's it going, Webbs? Webbs says, what's up, Shawn? Sorry I'm late. How's Haddonfield to Vanish going? You don't see his eyes. I can confirm that you will never see his eyes in this film. The way that we have shot it and what Ray has rigged over his face is like Ray is literally playing Michael through a blindfold. A very thin blindfold, so he can still, have an idea of where he's going and what he's doing. But no, I mean, and it's all subjective. Some people love to show Michael's eyes. I'm more of a fan of how in the first movie and in the fourth movie, you really never even get a glimpse of the guy's eyes. It's almost like they're just black holes, black pits. So, Kieran says, Shawn worked super hard to get the lighting right in this shoot. I mean, day one we did. Day two, I felt like there wasn't as much to do on day two because at that point we decided to slow things down and we were going to re-rent again. Everybody's just got to be a little patient. How's it going though? Who asked that? Webbs. We're on break right now, man. The pandemic's pretty bad up here. Vaccine's starting to roll out. I believe we go back to the mansion to shoot for 2 or 3 days in May. We're going to be probably shooting in April, May. We're probably going to be shooting right up till to even July or August, and then aiming to hit that October 8th release date right now. So, For what it's worth, Toronto Freddy, as Melissa Todd said here, Kieran, in fact, is going to play Michael Myers, though, in some scenes. So there's certain things Ray's available for and certain things he's not. And there's certain areas where Ray can't be two people at once. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, here we are. Kieran says he was bothered by the H2O mask. Let me ask the chat. You guys ready to see this blooper? We'll watch it a couple of times, but are you ready to see some actual footage, albeit footage we're not using, footage from Haddonfield the Vanished? Who's ready for some footage of Haddonfield the Vanished? An actual clip that is a blooper, so we're not going to use it. I can tell you right now, though, that the blooper is not edited. There's no additional lighting. There's no brightness. If you want to, all I'm going to say is look closely. Watch very closely, and you'll see where the blooper comes in, because at first it might look like it's okay, but it really isn't. All right, here we go, guys. Let's take a look at the... So what we're going to do is we'll watch the blooper once, and then I'll get off of it. I'll play it again, and then we'll talk about it, and then I'll play it one more time. Again, this is raw, no editing. Here we go. And let me know if you guys hear audio, because I'm not going to hear the audio, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Scene 37, A5, take 5, action. Oh, yeah, the fucking tarp flies up into the shot. Like, yeah, oh, God, yeah. The face I caught here was... All right, I'm going to play it one more time. Did anybody catch where the blooper is there? Scene 37, A5, take 5, action. Oh, yeah, the fucking tarp flies up into the shot. Like, yeah, oh, God, yeah. The face I caught here was... All right, there you have it. There's a blooper from Haddonfield the Vanished. It's a still shot. It's part of an actual, like, quite a long sequence that happens. So, obviously, you know, Kieran's character, James, gets into it with Michael and takes a pretty vicious head slam off the kitchen counter. So we had a tarp there because, one, it's not our place. Kieran, it's hard to see there, is actually bleeding from about right here on his head, and it's pouring down over his face. So we didn't mind getting some blood on the kitchen counter because we could just get it with some Lysol wipes almost immediately after. If Kieran's not doing anything, maybe we can pull Kieran on here for 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, and talk about this particular shot and what happened in it. Kieran, if you want to give me a Skype call, man, it doesn't necessarily have to be video. If you can, I can patch you in really easy. But if not, then I understand. I know you just got off work. But basically, we had a tarp there because if the blood was going to get everywhere, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to get all over their beautiful floors. Like, we're in like a $5 million home as we're shooting this. And it's like, okay, so let's get the tarp down, make sure that we're okay. And I just see this tarp fly up into the shot. And I'm just like, oh, that was actually really good until the tarp flew up into the shot. So, and I don't know if you hear in the audio there because I can't hear it. Forgive me, guys. I'm going to play this audio clip once for my own sake. You'll hear the audio, but you won't actually see the clip. Scene 37, A5, take 5, action. Yeah, I'm watching right now, people. So I thought that's what he said. You actually hear Ray say, "I didn't see anything," because like he's literally like working through this thin blindfold, so he's not going to see anything. Intel says, "I'm glad I'm not the James in that scene." Oh, dude, that's not. Oh, there we go. Hold on a second, dude. I'm gonna see if I can patch you in here. Oh, the noise! It's killing my ears. One moment. Oh, look who it is! It's the man fresh from work. So I think it's fitting if we have you on here to just talk about that blooper. But one more time, let's sit back and watch this blooper again. Scene 3785, take 5, action. Hey, Frank Riker's in the house. Watching a blooper from Vanish, man. Oh yeah, the fucking tarp flies up into the shot. Like, yeah. Okay. We'll send it one. Jade says Patrick Dempsey. We'll show it one more time. Actually, we'll go through the images one more time and then show the blooper, and then Kieran and I will chat about it. So first up, we have Carolina walking through the mansion. Again, she was fantastic. And then we have Kieran, which that location probably looks pretty familiar to you guys, as you've just seen it during another set of events. I like this. I was going to take a screenshot after Mike gets out of the shot, but I like that the clapboard's in it, and you see Mike, you see you. Then we have Michael and Haddonfield the Vanished at the entry staircase into the house. Probably my favorite image we have so far. And then we have Michael again with Carolina. And then one final time, the blooper. Scene 3785, take 5, action. Oh yeah, the fucking tarp flies up into the shot. Like, yeah. Oh, you're gonna make. Oh my good God, you're gonna make his ego go nuts, dude. Kieran looks like a young Harrison Ford. Let's not go too far, man. Jeez.
Oh man, it's all leveling out because someone said I look like Seth Rogen the other day, and that really like brought me down. But, like Patrick Dempsey and Han Solo are. Bringing me back up. I got some good self-esteem now.
What was I going for here? Toronto Freddy's like, now I noticed it this time, but I also noticed the camera shake. I will say there's some intentional camera shaking in our movie. I think it adds to it. I think the idea of a still camera all the time, while I do realize that that's the professional way, and you see a lot of that with what Dave's doing over on It's Me, Billy. We weren't at their level. We're never going to be at their level, realistically. But I think adding camera shake adds to horror movies, and you see a lot of horror movies do that too. But that one there, I think specifically shook just because Kieran really does nail that counter very, very good. At what point did you know that the tarp flew up over, like, into the shot?
I think at the end of the clip, I ask if it. I think I say like, "Whoa, did that get in the screen?" And then someone's like, "Yeah, it did." And then we're all laughing, and then that's when Michael's kind of like, "Eh." So yeah, I can tell. I mean, I don't want to put too much out there, but we did this quite a bit, and I put a lot into this fight scene. If I got destroyed by Michael with something or, something looked like it hurt. And, I remember you asking me quite a few times, like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "How did it look?" And you're like, "Oh, it kind of went out of focus." Like, we'll do it again. So I really wanted this to look good. And I know I want to continue to add more things in there. And, I put a lot into it, and I hope it turns out great. the stuff that I have seen, which is like a little bit more than what other people have seen now, looks good. And even there's a still that I hope eventually we get to put out there. That's awesome, but I don't know if you want to give that away. So,
what are you referring to
awesome.
without totally
great to film, and I look forward to getting back there and filming more about it. But yeah, we did. I know. I think I mentioned this on our other in the other stream we did with some of the cast. Like, I also this was super late, so anything that was funny was good because it kept me awake.
I know you're not an energy drink guy too, and you had just had an energy drink, so.
Yeah, I think I've had 2 in my life, and I really needed it. So I know I was pacing back and forth. I was telling myself jokes. I was saying stupid things, and I think a couple points I did a couple of yells just to keep myself awake, and also to keep myself like, I didn't want to just be awake. I wanted to be like ready to go because I had to continue. I had to fight the shape like over and over and over again. Like, I remember slapping the counter like you see then, and then being like, oh, that wasn't good. Let's do it again. And you're like, well, I think we're all right. I'm like, no, I got better. So, like, I had to keep myself constantly, like, with some adrenaline to keep it going and make it look good.
Steve McCoy says, Michael Myers staying in character with nothing to say. He actually does say something. You just can't tell it's coming from him. He's the one that goes, I didn't see anything, because he can hardly see in the fucking mask. So you said there's a still you hope gets out there. Does that mean I've shown you a still that we didn't show tonight that you can send me on Messenger? Because if you can send it and I think it's reasonable, I'll show it.
Oh, I don't know if you want to give that one away.
I don't know what one it is. So send it to me on Messenger and I'll let you know.
All right.
Alrighty. So when Kieran's looking for that, chat, what do you guys think? First look at Haddonfield the Vanished. We showed off 4 images. We might show off a 5th. We'll see. I might not be feeling that festive to give away something juicy, but the cast and crew have seen a few more photos than you guys have, rightfully so. But we're pretty happy with it, and we're hoping to release our own version of a micro teaser before Christmas. It'd be pretty short. And because we're not going to get to shoot the shape of Halloween short that we wanted to do before Christmas. Just the pandemic's sort of crazy, and we needed at least one production assistant there, and it wasn't going to happen. So, it's Kieran on the what? The commode? I think that's above my head.
I haven't given that picture away to anybody, so
I don't even know what one you're talking about. So have you sent it yet?
No, I can't find it.
Where did I post it?
I thought it was in a chat, but it may have just been between me and you, so I will see. Give me 1 sec. If I can't find it in a second here, then I probably don't have it. Either that or I just got concussed and I actually haven't seen it before.
You're not talking about the one where he's about to like drown you, right?
Yeah.
We've already shown that on air.
Did you?
Yeah, we showed it during the cast session.
Oh.
Yeah, we did. So.
Okay, cool.
Cool. I don't think there's anything else that I want.
I think that's it. I think that's what I was.
At the moment, I'm just taking a look here.
There's one specifically, right after that.
I posted
happens.
one on Facebook too, so. Apologies. I know this is great entertainment right now, right, guys? It might be an Imperial Remnant, actually.
It might be. Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't check that either.
Oh, my God. There's so much shit in Imperial Remnant. Why do people keep posting it here?
Here, you talk. I'll go and try and find it.
All right. Well, I mean, I am talking. I'm just not looking at the screen. What do we have here? Oh, okay. I think I know the one you're talking about. All right. So let's see if we can blow this one up. I think it's this one you're referring to. Maybe not, though. Did Kieran's face get longer all of a sudden? All right.
All right.
Let's have a peek.
Oh, it's totally that one. Yeah.
All right. So the only problem with this one, guys, is it's not as good quality because it's just taken off my phone. It's just taken off my phone, so it's not in proper quality. The lighting's not correct in it. So be aware. But Kieran playing our buddy Intel is a little worse for wear in this image that we're going to show here. So let's put it up here. Give you guys one more image before we get out of here for the night. We'll talk some Star Wars, too, for a few minutes, and we'll get out of here for the night. Where are we? Here we go. So here it is. Again, it's not as high quality because it's just taking a screenshot with my phone. You can tell I'm actually editing at the computer there because that's down in the office. You can see the ring light in the background. So there's a bad glare that's not on the actual footage. But our buddy Kieran here looks like he's basically jobbing to Michael Myers, wrestling term. Man, you look like a bloody Brooklyn brawler here.
Well, we have a fantastic makeup artist as well. So
yeah, no, she definitely was worked really hard on that weekend.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well there you have it. There is. I can't even see the chat right now. All right, here we go. It's every time he moves the camera. Oh, I see what you're saying. But yeah, Kieran's actually pretty bloodied here. You can see that looks like bangs, but it's not. That's blood pouring down his head. So there you have it. Again, that one was not very high quality. So apologies for that. But yeah. Solid Saturn says, Shawn, you should do a studio tour. It's a little cluttery in here right now, but eventually we'll do something. We have a new intro coming in the new year, where it basically does like a panorama shot of the entire studio, before focusing on the screen. So, and we have some new graphics coming and some new clips, and you're going to see a lot of upgrades come 2021 here on the channel. Toronto Freddy says, loving everything so far at Fandom Empire. Makes me so much more excited to get my mask. Yeah, well, we're waiting on Mike for that one, and I know there is there's a bit of a COVID issue, which is creating a bit of a problem on him getting the masks out, that I got to address Intel, Jamie, Toronto Freddy, and Travis on. They're coming, just they're taking longer than they should. All right, let's keep the thing up here and keep cracking at it. Dude, Star Wars. Gonna end the night with some Star Wars. So I know people love that, right? Yeah. So it's come out that Kenobi and Vader are actually going to fight in this show. They seem to keep throwing that at us. Anybody who does an interview about this show wants to throw it out there. There's also Jedi Hunters in this show that apparently get led by Commander Cody. So, I mean, you're going to get more of Tim Morrison, so I know you're excited about that. What do you think of the idea that there's actively Jedi Hunters going around looking for Kenobi all these years? Like, specifically looking for him?
I don't think there's a problem with it because there should be a reason why he was gone for so long. And, I'm assuming he thought, he didn't think he was going to be in exile forever, but he was in exile for a long time. So To give a reason for that there's no problem. I don't mind. I mean, I haven't seen what they're gonna do, but I'm pretty happy with whatever they release. I was kind of skeptical about having a Kenobi Vader fight. Pretty much the same reason that Tommy B is kind of skeptical about it is, like, is that going to line up properly with the lines that they say? I know there are some lines that make it seem like there could have a fight in between, but there's some lines in the originals that kind of contradict that as well. So, I know a lot of... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I hate to say it, but that one's on George Lucas. Like, he had all the chance in the world to tie up all the loose ends with the prequel trilogy and Revenge of the Sith, and he could have made the line set in not only Empire Strikes Back, but Return of the Jedi make more sense. And for whatever reason, he didn't, and it leaves the opening for fans to go, okay, yeah, no, that would make sense if they had another meeting. And even if they do have another meeting, which it sounds like it's a given at this point, 10 years is still a long time to go without seeing someone. And so we'll have to see what happens, man.
Yeah, and he doesn't... It's not like he says since... like that's... I feel a presence I haven't felt since the prequel era. No, like... He just says, not since, and then goes off.
Yeah,
it's actually a really great line.
No, I absolutely agree. I'm going to send it over to the chat here for a second, guys. We're going to do the 5-minute countdown. 5 minutes to go in the show. Anything you guys want to talk about, post in the chat right now. We could talk Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, Star Wars, Haddonfield to Vanish, whatever you guys want to talk about for the final 5 minutes. The floor is yours. Send some questions in now, please, and thank you. Dude, The Mandalorian's going to end next week, this season anyway. But we do know that Season 3 is going to premiere Christmas Day, apparently, 2021. Which, I mean, I think that is kind of a little excited to wake up Christmas Day and be like, oh, I can watch the season premiere of Mandalorian. But on the flip side, it's like, oh, instead of us waiting 10 months this time for another season, we're actually going to wait a little over a year. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm not too worried. I mean, we might not have a ton of content in between then, but I mean, even if they decided they were going to take a year and a half in between seasons after that, well, we're getting so much content that it's not going to matter. And I mean, I'm a big Rick and Morty fan, and I had to wait almost 2 years for season 4. That was absolutely ridiculous, but when it came, it was good. So whatever, there's other content everywhere. There's a million shows. There's a ton of Netflix shows that I've been told to watch that I wait on. So waiting for the next season of Mandalorian is not going to be a big deal for me. I mean, there's always something else to watch, and there's going to be a ton of Star Wars content, so it shouldn't be a big deal.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, you have the Bad Batch is going to be up before then. And I mean, I don't know what's going on with this Boba Fett show that basically every main source there is for Star Wars content said was going to happen but did not get announced, unless something's going to happen on Friday's show that they did not want to, Friday's episode that they didn't want to spoil, and then they go back into the show. So,
well, this is what happened. I have a close source at Lucasfilm that listened to me about how dog shit a Boba Fett show would be. And they canceled it.
I just can't take you seriously sometimes. What do you think of his new armor? Oh, not new armor, but the painted armor, the matte look.
I liked it. I actually liked his whole part. I wasn't joking when I said that the other day. I liked his whole part in this episode. I think that he's a good actor. And I don't have a ton of problems even with... It's funny, my hate for Boba Fett is not hate for Boba Fett the character. It's just I hate that people think that he was supposed to live the whole time and everything. He definitely died in the originals, and then people loved his action figure, and then they were like, oh yeah, George Lucas was like, oh yeah, I was gonna bring him back the whole time. It definitely wasn't
Oh my god!
He definitely died, and then he was a very successful action figure, and then they brought him back, and people went crazy, and it's the same thing that happened with Darth Maul. Doesn't matter what George Lucas pretends to think now. Like he likes to he comes out with contradictory stuff all the time. So I don't want anybody coming at me with like, oh, he said that Darth Maul was going to be the guy in the next prequel films and blah blah blah. Like it's not true. He died, and then they ended up selling lots of merch, and they were like, hey, let's capitalize on this guy. We'll bring him back from the dead. So, but actual Boba Fett, the character, is fine. I didn't like the previous episode because they made him into like a crazy badass who like teleports, and like the stormtrooper fighting was terrible. They kept running up to like 5 feet in front of him to shoot him, and it's like, why would you ever do that? So, I mean, even my criticism on Boba Fett in the previous episode was not criticism of the character. It was the episode was just like didn't make a lot of sense. The fighting didn't make a lot of sense, and I have a pretty good knowledge on fighting. I've been a martial artist for 13 years, and I understand that a lot of the fighting in that didn't make any sense.
I loved that episode personally, but I think Boba Fett's armor looks better on him now. It looks like they took away the. I have no doubt that it's actually a different piece of armor, and they probably got something that fits Tim Morrison a little better, and they have the black under it now to blend in better. And pardon?
Still has the dent though, right?
Oh, for sure. Like I have no doubt. Like I think in the story we're supposed to believe it's the same armor painted. He's painted again, just like he painted Slave One. If you look, the ship's actually painted in this episode too, where it wasn't in the first episode. I think that. Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. Shit. I think it was they just basically did it for logistical reasons. I think they probably seen how he looked in the episode before and thought, hey, it sounds terrible, but they probably thought too much of a dad bod and went and blended it in better and something that fits him a little better. I have no doubt they tried to put him in the same armor that Timothy Olyphant was wearing, and Tim Morrison's just a bigger guy than Timothy Olyphant, so. Is what it is. Let's take a look at what the chat's saying before we get out of here for the night, man. Jade Bags. Jade Giroud. Not yet. Soon, but not too soon. Jade Bags, roller disco wedding. No. Not a chance. Intel Wild says it's not my cup of tea. I know he's talking about Star Wars, but let's pretend he's talking about Jade's idea. All right. Toronto Freddy says, I love breaking their balls about it. I love it too, man. I actually get a kick out when you're like, oh, no, not Snore Wars. Solid Saturn says, I waited 2+ years for Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi. I waited 2 years basically for Game of Thrones Season 8, but unlike most, I actually enjoyed Game of Thrones Season 8, but it was very rushed and
so did I.
Just, you wish they would have taken more time with it or had more time in the episodes, so it didn't seem as rushed. Toronto Freddy says, Fandom Empire in chat, have any of you seen Cobra Kai Season 3 trailer yet? I haven't seen Cobra Kai Seasons 1 or 2, let alone the Season 3 trailer yet, so. Kieran?
No, I haven't seen it. My cousin who lives with me saw it, and he loves it. He was like, he's just waiting on Season 3, and he binge watched it super quick. So I got to watch that too while I'm waiting for Mandalorian Season 3.
Jade says, I haven't seen the trailer for Season 3, but I've watched some of the first season. I really like it. I had to stop so that Shawn and I can watch together. Well, we better get watching then because we haven't watched anything yet. So, Frank says, agreed, Kieran. There's enough content. I think he's talking about Boba Fett. Intel Wild says, I liked it too, Jade. And that's basically Jade says, what show should Shawn and I watch next? We're almost at the end of House now. I really kind of want to go back and watch Game of Thrones. I haven't watched Game of Thrones since it ended, and it ended, a year and a half ago now? Which is kind of crazy that it's been a year and a half since it ended. But I kind of want to go back and watch Game of Thrones all the way through. You got to get Thaden on that, man.
You've watched Breaking Bad, right?
No, I've seen a few episodes, and I didn't like it. Yeah. Right? I know. I'll say this though. You can't judge a TV series off of a few episodes. You got to give it more time than that. So eventually I will give it more time, but
show.
So Solid Saturn.
It's a slow-moving show.
Yeah, I mean Sons of Anarchy can be that way too, but I love Sons of Anarchy, so Solid Saturn says, how well do you think kills will be taken by audiences? I think the vast majority of Halloween fans, whether you're a fan of the new stuff or you're a fan of the OG, there's stuff for all of you in this movie. That doesn't mean I think the film's going to be a financial success, though. I think that I would like to think by October next year, theaters should be open 50, 75% capacity, maybe even full capacity. But I think you're still going to see people not wanting to go and risk it and be out there yet. It's going to take a while for society to return to normal. Take this, for example. Major League Baseball had fans in the stands for some of their postseason. And not one postseason game for Major League Baseball sold out of the allotted amount of tickets they had for any of the games. And if that doesn't tell you that people are worried, I don't think anything's ever going to tell you that. So, Toronto Freddy says, what the fuck? Go watch Cobra Kai, man. I want to take a second to plug some stuff here. Rogue Sun Star Wars podcast. It is a podcast Kieran and Thaden do together. Kieran, what's the plan on that? When are you guys going to get back to recording some episodes, man?
We're going to actually record a super long, amazing episode over the Christmas break, and hopefully it'll be out before Christmas because we haven't been able to do one in about a month because of COVID. So, if anybody has listened to our show, we play lots of games and lots of different things. I think we're going to play every single game again. So we'll do a draft and we'll do some trivia. We do a game called Jedi Knowledge or Not. We do a lot of different fun stuff, and we're going to do pretty much a new of every single segment we have and make probably a 2-hour show.
Nice. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun, man. Well, we have our show Tuesday, Imperial Remnant Broadcast, which is the second last episode we do before Christmas. On Thursday, we have the Fandom Empire Christmas Party, where a bunch of us are going to meet up here on the channel and talk about our top 10 favorite Christmas movies. No, there won't be a Die Hard on my list because I don't think it's a Christmas movie, which I'm sure is going to piss off a lot of people, not only in the chat, but probably on the stream. And we got all sorts of people coming out to that thing. And then the following Tuesday, we will have the final episode of Imperial Remnant Broadcast for this year, which will review the final episode of The Mandalorian Season 2. And then on December the 23rd, Dave McRae and I are going to sit down, talk It's Me, Billy, Haddonfield the Vanished, Halloween, and all that much more. So we got a bunch of good shit coming. I also want to let you guys know, in 2021, you're going to see a lot of new things on the channel. Jade and I are going to be doing some movie reviews, at least 1 or 2 a month. So that's going to be some fun. And then we have, at least I anyway, I don't know if it's going to be on the channel, but it'll be available on podcast format, I'm teaming up with my old buddy Ian, and we're going to do a Star Wars podcast called Across the Stars, which was actually one of the candidate names that we were talking about for Imperial Remnant Broadcast, but didn't end up going with it. And all it's going to be is a 30 to 40 minute sit down every week of 2 guys just talking Star Wars. There's not going to be any strategic formula to it. It's not going to be, it's not going to be very well organized. It's just going to be 2 guys sitting at a cantina, drinking their blue milk, talking about whatever Star Wars comes to their mind. So that should be fun. And then Camp Haddonfield podcast will kick back off starting in the new year. Also, I'm not a part of that show, but would welcome the opportunity to be on it at any point. Frank Riker and Darren Sands doing their shit like they are. The Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast. Those guys are absolutely killing it. I believe they just had Dave on for Die Hard. I think I seen that today. I don't think I was high at that point, so I'm pretty sure that I seen that. You can check them out too. Kieran, where can everybody find you at, man?
They can find me in the Fandom Empire Facebook group, and on Rogue Sons, the Star Wars podcast Facebook group. Or, if you know my name from there, you can hunt me down on Facebook and just add me, because the more the merrier on my list.
Absolutely. And you can check us out, Twitter at FandomEmpireNow, at StarWarsIRB, Facebook's Fandom Empire, Facebook groups the Fandom Empire Den, Instagram's Fandom Empire Now, and Star Wars IRB. For Kieran and for Toronto Freddy and Frank Riker in the chat, I think the super chats came in from Kieran, Intel, and Matt Whitfield, I believe. Thank you guys for donating. It's appreciated. And we'll catch you all Tuesday night. For the people that are Patreon subscribers, we'll catch you tomorrow night. That's right, tomorrow night, Patreon, Fandom Empire Underground. Can't wait to do it. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.